Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Mrs. Claus.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
Two
Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time you find out somebody very important to the world, like Santa is actually keto, you'll be alerted to it. This is very important information. All of the kids are setting out cookies and milk for Santa when really what he wants is a ribeye and some electrolytes.
Are you done?
I mean, he would have to be keto, Joe. How are you going to get everything done?
You would have to be.
What kind of mental clarity would you need to provide presents for every single person around the world and have the energy to get it done in a single night?
Yeah, Matt said that's the skinniest Santa I've ever seen. So here's the story behind. We actually had to buy these a couple of years ago.
Yes, we did.
Because we were like Santa and Mrs. Claus at like church on Christmas Eve.
Right.
And those were the comments that we got all night long.
But you know what? What a great ambassador for keto. Because yeah, there was a big joke going around that Santa and Mrs. Claus must have gone keto. I love it.
I wanted to wear the shirt that like Pork and Good sent me for my birthday.
Pork and Good, Merry Christmas to you guys. Sent a shirt.
It's awesome.
It says, "Go pork yourself."
Go pork yourself. I love it.
That did not feel as Christmassy as a Santa outfit. You know what else is super awesome? Thank you so much to Lisa and James Ortega. Could there be a more perfect gift?
I love it.
Honestly, finding things with Opa and Oma on it is not easy. So
No,
like,
it's not.
thank you guys so much for that. And also, look at the ornament they sent for our subscriber Christmas tree. This actually looks like an RV that Santa and Mrs. Claus would stay in, I think. Thank you guys.
So if you are new to our channel, welcome to our Thursday live stream. Thursday live streams are a chance for us to just hang out with our community. Our channel is all about community. We just love building people up, helping people on their keto journey. We believe that you can't do life without community, and you certainly can't do keto without community because there's too many people who are like not understanding our way of eating. So we like to spend our Thursday evenings just hanging out with you guys, talking to you, and answering questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat. Best way for us to see it is put the word question and then whatever your question is, or you can use the super chat function, which does benefit our channel. We greatly appreciate that. That is the $sign that is in the chat window. And what happens is when you do that, it highlights our screen and lets us know that you have a question. And we make sure we read that one. Obviously, we read as many questions as possible.
Yes, of course.
But that's how you know we're going to see it.
Okay, so I totally missed something. I see people identifying us as Two Crazy Clauses.
Nice.
We totally missed that. And Joanna had a great question. Where are my Mrs. Claus
You had them.
glasses? I honestly don't know. The only thing I can say is I guess Mrs. Claus just doesn't need them anymore. My eyesight must be getting better on keto. That's gotta be it.
So
right?
Estee Bradley said today is Michelle Bradley's birthday. Saturday is my birthday, Sean's.
Oh, okay. Well, let's sing to Michelle today. Well, and we'll go ahead and say Sean too.
Yep.
Ready? For Sean and Michelle. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sean and Michelle. And Michelle and Sean and Sean and Michelle. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more. You too. Happy birthday.
Andy said, I saw Rachel kissing Santa Claus.
Right. That's true. Aw. That's so sweet. I love it.
Okay. Did you have anything else?
I did. We got some beautiful cards from everybody. Thank you so much. Joy to all the world, peace in every heart, with some stickers from Bob and Dina. Thank you guys so much, along with some keto chow to share. And I just wanted to let Bob and Dina know they're already being shared with a family in need. So thank you so much for that. Also, look at this. Unleash the joy. Look at these pubsters from the Jordan family. Merry Christmas to you guys. We got from Shelly. We've got it says, happy holidays. Hope your holiday season is filled with peace, joy, and happiness. Now, my Aunt Carolyn, this always makes me think of Aunt Carolyn because she loves cardinals. So thank you so much. Precious person in my life. Also, this is from Joanna. Joanna, I see you here. May the beauty of the season be with you all through the year. Merry Christmas. Joanna, you have absolutely delightful penmanship, absolutely gorgeous. Says, I can barely remember following a PhD without you. You hear it a lot, but it's true. You make a difference. You matter. Don't doubt it. Thank you. Doesn't properly represent my gratitude for all you both do. Your commitment shows, as well as your love for us all. I hope you have a blessed, happy, and memorable holiday season. Well, Joanna, I don't remember 2 crazy ketos without you.
Yeah.
That's just the truth of it. This is from Cynthia Butler. Look at this beautiful card. It says, a Savior is born with the 2 wise men. May his gifts bless you this Christmas season and all year long. This beautiful card is from Sherry Watkins in Tennessee. It says, wishing you the blessings of Christmas from Sherry. And look at this fun one. Gnome for the holidays. These gnomes are getting around, aren't you? I feel like I see these gnomes everywhere. This is from Cynthia. Happy holidays, warmest greetings of the season, and every good wish for the coming year. And this looks handmade. Cynthia, have you made this? Like, are you a paper crafter? Because I am in such great admiration from that. And this, I'm so excited to break out. This is a gratitude journal from Ola, which Ola has been doing an amazing job making sure that she gets gratitude in every single day. And I really feel like so honored that you got me a gratitude daily journal as well. So thank you, Ola. I cannot wait to use this in the coming year. So exciting. What are you asking Santa for? You've got him. You've got him here. What are you asking Santa for?
Let's get into some questions. Carrie's got a question.
Hey, Carrie.
The bad cholesterol last week was 167.6. Is that really bad? My total cholesterol was 267. I know that is not bad. Okay, wow. We are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals.
We're not even really Santa and Mrs.
honestly,
Claus.
Carrie, like, here's the thing: is a lot of it comes down to what are the rest of your numbers like.
Right.
Just looking at cholesterol without looking at anything else is kind of like looking at your car without looking inside at the engine, right? Like you have to know everything. For me, my HDL or my LDL is higher than that. At least the last time I had it checked.
Yeah.
Am I concerned? No, because I'm looking at all of my other numbers. I'm looking at all of the other inflammation numbers. I'm looking at where is my A1C. I mean, so when I've taken my numbers to Dr. Boz, to Dr. Sivas, to Dr. Berry, and also Dr. Lenskis, they've all looked at my blood work and they all said, you're the epitome of health, regardless of the fact that I have a total cholesterol of over 300.
And I think Carrie's A1C was like a 5.
Yeah, but again, you need to look at all of the numbers. So if those were my numbers, I would be ecstatic if I had a total cholesterol of 267 with
yeah.
it. But also, more importantly, if you're just looking at your cholesterol, is where's your HDL, where are your triglycerides? You want to have very low triglycerides. You want to have very high HDL. A good place to start is at least 1-to-1, preferably having your HDL like 2 or 3 times higher than what your triglycerides are. Those are the more important numbers. My suggestion, Carrie, would be go check out some of the stuff from Dave Feldman.
Yes.
Dave Feldman, he's the cholesterol guru.
Yes, he is.
Speaking of which,
I'm so excited.
I don't have all of the details, but I do know. So in March, don't quote me on the date. It's somewhere around March 16th
it's
or
probably
so.
in lowcarbevents.com at this point.
It wasn't yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But Dave Feldman and the basically Citizen Scientist Foundation is going to be hosting a conference in Vegas.
So excited.
We will be there.
We will.
So it is actually, it's a little bit different than other conferences. It's going to be a fundraiser. They're going to be trying to raise funds for the Citizen Scientist Foundation. But just mark it on your calendars if you're in that area, California, Las Vegas, Utah, Arizona, or if you want to be like us and fly from Florida.
Let's come hang out.
We are going to be at that conference. So we're super excited that there will be a conference in Vegas that we know is going to happen.
We feel very confident about this.
Right. This is not the crazy guy who was trying to put on the Vegas show and canceled it 2 years in a row.
Right. So we're really excited about it, and I feel very confident in sharing this information with you. So yeah. And it's going to be a little bit different as far as like getting tickets for this.
Yeah, I'm going to let Dave share all of that because I don't have all of the details on it. But I do know it's a fundraiser, and I can say that because he actually commented on our scale video about it.
Yeah, very excited.
Okay, so Jamie said,
hi Jamie.
She just had a different question. She's like, is Jesus in the manger at your church? Here the baby doesn't show up until Christmas. When I grew up in church, we never put it in.
We did.
Jesus never went in until Christmas Eve, and our family actually, and pretty much until about a couple years after my father passed away, but from the time we had moved in when I was like 4 years old, our family did the entire manger scene in the church that I grew up in. My mom continued it for a couple more years after my dad. I think it stopped after Hurricane Sandy because everything got ruined.
Yeah.
But it used to take us all day and months of preparation.
We made walls out of paper.
Well, we would make mountain paper, and basically we'd take like 20 rolls of like packing paper, like brown craft paper, and you had to paint it multiple different colors and crinkle it up, and then when you assembled it,
it was beautiful.
Looked like mountains.
We need to find a picture.
I have pictures of it
because it really was.
We also
super
did
cool.
Easter.
Yeah, it was really cool. So when I grew up, I actually, one of the very first presents that I asked for was my own basically set of plastic outdoor nativity scene. Like I wanted my own Mary, Jesus, and the baby, and I never let it go outside. Like I wanted it in the house. And I actually saw a really cute meme today because mine was like the baby Jesus was like attached to like the manger, that's the way it came. But like some of them, the baby comes out but it looks like it's working on its core.
Yeah.
Because it's like legs are up, arms are up, and somebody must have lost the bottom of a manger for this scene. And so it was basically just Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus like with his legs up and arms up, and the meme was really cute. It was like this baby's abs are going to be like ripped this holiday season. And it reminded me so much of Peyton because remember that was her thing. For so long, she would lay on her back, lift up her legs, lift up her arms at the same time with this determined look on her face of like, I'm going to get up soon.
Yeah.
On my own.
So the Vegas conference is March 15th and 16th.
Nice.
So I don't have the details of exactly where it is, like what conference center. I know Dave is working some things out, but that is when it's going to be.
It's going to be very unique.
And 16th. Carrie said A1C was a 5, HDL was 81, triglycerides 92. HDL is good. I mean, triglycerides aren't horrible, but I'd work on bringing those down. But again, remember, we're not doctors. Quiet Storm, my eyesight has absolutely improved.
We have heard that over and over again.
Yep, Rhonda's talked about that. Joanna said, my eyesight and tinnitus did not get better on keto, but I'll take that over less pain.
Yes.
No inflammation, sinus issues, brain. That's me too.
That's wonderful.
My eyesight hasn't gotten better, but I've got
lots
of other things going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. But if you do want to see a testimonial of somebody who had eyesight improvement on keto, check out the video that we taped at Ketopalooza 2 years ago with Rhonda Clark, because we interviewed her about the changes she saw, and it was amazing.
Tammy said, Joe,
hey,
question,
Tammy.
Where did you take your health coach classes at? Primal Health. So it's Primal Health Coaching, which is basically owned by Mark Sasson. So, and he's the actual person who originally created Primal Kitchen. And the reason I ended up choosing them, aside, I'd done a lot of research, and one of the final things that kind of pushed me towards Primal Health was a recommendation from Nisha. But with all of the different health coaching and different companies and things out there, I felt like they most align, Primal Health most aligns with my beliefs and the way of eating that I go. It's probably 95%. They do advocate some fruits and vegetables in certain instances, but still very, very low carb, no grains.
Still whole food.
Still whole food. So like I agree with like 95% of it. And then, but the thing about that course, I highly recommend, and I can get you a discount if you are interested. Just send me an email. But what I really like about it is it wasn't just teaching you about the way of eating, but you're going through a lot of other things like physical fitness and also how to coach somebody.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to just learn things and get certifications on, like, helping people with, their way of eating or working problems out, but you still need to learn how to actually coach somebody, and they spend a good part of the course on that as well. I recommend that the first one is great, but the master course, course, which is the second one that you can do, is amazing. And that really gets in the nitty-gritty of how to actually coach people and really help them on their journey. Maybe Lassalot says, Rachel and Joe, I got the 5 miles done. If I keep it up, I will hit 1,000 miles for 2023 before the new bald.
Talk about a victory. Like, that is flippin' amazing. And, like, don't you feel great? Like, you have to feel so good. I loved the fact that you shared on our recent video, like when we were premiering it, about stress reduction, especially during the holidays, but any time of the year. We are twinsies when it comes to walking being something of a stress reliever. It really is. If you're like, if you've been kind of pushing pause on moving forward with trying to like get more steps in daily because you're like, man, I'm not really big into taking long walks, give it a shot. Give it a shot for me, because I will tell you, it's done so much more for me. Like, walking has done so much more than like provide an exercise of sorts. For me, it really is a nice opportunity to get out of the house, away from my desk, away from work for a minute, and just breathe and walk and take in beautiful sights and scenery. I love it so much.
Debbie said it's on the calendar. Silverton Lodge, Las Vegas, 3333 Blue Diamond Road.
Awesome.
Awesome. Lisa, question.
Hey,
I also want to know how to be a health coach. Yeah, so I highly recommend Primal. I researched lots of them, and I just think it's the best all-around one. You're going to learn a lot. And
we don't mention it enough, but like if you are looking for coaching, we do provide coaching. You can go to our website, krazyketos.com, and book a coaching session. Both Joe and I are coaches, and we'd love to help if you think that you would benefit from that.
Bags of love. Rachel, have you got your planner yet?
I did. So I went with Plum paper planner. That's where I went. And the reason why, I haven't even gotten a chance, and like the time is slipping away, but the reason why I went with the Plum paper line is because it was completely customizable. And that is definitely something, if you are looking to start journaling next year, utilizing a planner, like a gratitude journal, something like that, I definitely think you should take a look at the Plum site and just see if that would fit your needs. Look at the different layouts, because one of the things that in the past, because this has been like a couple of years now, I've been utilizing paper planners, but sometimes they're in a vertical layout and sometimes they're more of a horizontal layout. And I find that a lot of planners use a vertical layout. And the way I write, and I need the horizontal because I write large, I write expansively, And so I've been making it work with the vertical ones, but I'm really excited this year to have something that's horizontal. I also like a planner because you're looking for something. I mean, go to a bookstore, go to Walmart, check out different like layouts and see what would be right for you. But I want something that lays flat. So I don't like something that is bound like with a book binding. I want like a spiral notebook that will like lay flat in my lap or turn as I need it, because I am a lefty. We hold our paper weird. I actually turn my entire paper in order to write on it.
You know what solves that?
No, I really I love my paper planner.
I know.
But that's really good. I like how it I like things to be a spiral. And I tried the Happy Planner. Those are everywhere. Happy Planner, I've seen those at Walmart. I've seen them at like a Hobby Lobby, different places. But I don't like, instead of a spiral, it uses a disc. It uses this disc thing. And you can add things to it and customize it, which I thought was nice. But I need the spiral. So what I liked about the Plum Planner was that I could have the layouts. You can even want, what you want a line to say.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I repeat things,
Okay, Dawn. Question.
Hi, Dawn.
Does illness raise an A1C? Mine was 6 on Tuesday and diagnosed with flu type B and strep
Sorry, you're
throat.
sick.
Okay, so A1C is a measurement over the lifespan of your red blood cells, which is about 3 months. And so if you were sick for a couple of months or maybe even a month of the last 3 months, you could have an elevated A1C. Remember, we're not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. But it's basically looking at your red blood cells and then what was your average glucose. The person who's got great explanation on A1C is Dr. Boz. She's got a couple of videos. She's got the most wonderful animations. Like, I want to hire whoever's doing her animations for when she does.
Incredible.
That was her talk last year at all the different conferences.
Yeah.
So I will say that being sick, if you have a pimple, if you're stressed, all of that will raise your glucose. So if you get a pimple, your glucose can go up. If you get sick, your glucose will go up. And so that's why if you're sick for a good portion of 3 months, you might have an elevated A1C. I've had a lot of conversations with like Dave Feldman and Dr. Barry, and like I'm of the opinion that A1C now is kind of an antiquated test because we have CGMs. Before, you didn't have any idea of like what was going on over the whole 3 months. Now you could wear a CGM and see what's going on with your glucose. Also, Dr. Barry's got a theory that people who are eating more on the proper human diet, especially mostly meat, people who are eating a lot of beef, butter, bacon, egg, who are eating carnivore, who are eating like a heavy meat-based diet, like 95% of your diet is meat, there's a chance that your red blood cells are living longer.
Isn't that amazing?
Which would give you a higher A1C than somebody who isn't eating that. So there's a lot of things that are in play. If you really want to know what's going on with your glucose, wear a CGM for a little while. Like down below, we have the link for Testimonial. You can get it for pretty much the price of a prescription, and then plus whatever you're going to pay at the local drugstore. On average, it's about $70 for a month, and that's the best way to see what's going on with your glucose, and you don't have to go get a test all the time.
I see that it's our good friend Nancy's birthday. Can we sing to Nancy? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nancy. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more, Nancy. I love you, girl.
Yeah, Quiet Storm said A1C typically have an assumed red blood cell lifespan. Anything that increases or reduces that lifespan can affect the accuracy of the test.
Oh, Neely is here. Hey,
They're
Neely.
not as accurate as a CGM if you're wearing it and watching everything.
She's team no discs with me. And I'm not poo-pooing on anybody's planner. If you like the Happy Planner and you like the discs, like there are so many ways that you can add papers to it and make it more customizable. But like, so Neely was also like, yeah, no discs for me. So yeah, the disc, I tried to make it work and I was trying to like shove stuff in with the discs and I was just messing up the paper. And the one thing that this is so weird about me, Joe, as is most things about me. But I don't like crinkled paper. Like if things are crinkled, I'm like, I gotta rip it out and like start over. Like I want fresh, clean paper for my thoughts. Super nerdy about that.
Joanna, question. I've been seeing a keto Mediterranean plan. Thoughts? I think personally, I don't want to upset anybody. For me,
seasonings?
No.
Or like adding rice?
No. Well, it's more of adding some more fruits and vegetables and things like that. And I don't think it's there's no such thing as a necessary fruit. You don't need fruit. Okay? You don't need fruit. Does it taste good? Yes.
It's delicious.
I think that it could send people off the rails, especially because it's very easy to overdo it. And I don't think it's necessary. And I think for some people might benefit from it, but more people that have really got a good metabolism going and don't have any kind of, issues coming in with their A1C and high glucose and they're metabolically healthy. But, is it better than a standard American diet?
Certainly.
Yes. I think what happens on keto is people are like, okay, I'm done. What's the next thing?
Right.
I mean, and that's the case with anything. Listen, look, years. Keto is not new. It's been around since the 1920s. And then you had Atkins. Why is it not called Atkins anymore? Because people look for something new. And you even see it in keto. It's like, this isn't good enough. What's next? Okay, now what's next? Now, instead of just staying and doing whatever you want to do, and be consistent.
One of my favorite books, if I don't know if anybody else has ever read it, it's called Chop Wood, Carry Water. Mm-hmm. And it's a very interesting book about a man that is learning, he's gone to go learn martial arts from a sensei, and his sensei keeps telling him to chop wood and carry water and over again, and he's like, when are we getting to the good stuff? When are we going to learn all the cool things? Like, all right, I've got this down, chop wood and carry water. Like, when do we move on?
Chop wood and carry water.
Chop wood and carry water. Like, the point is the consistency. And that's hard because that's how we all feel, right? Is that we want to get like, what's next? Like okay, I've mastered keto. And then like, what do I do after keto? Keto.
Yeah.
You chop wood and you carry water. Like that. It's like, if we want to have what we're feeling right now is health. Right. And if you want to maintain health, keep doing what you're doing. Right. But that's a hard thing, and that's why I really enjoyed that book. And I remember while I was reading it, because somebody suggested it to me, and I was just as mad as the student was at the sensei. Like, when are we gonna get to like the cool martial arts stuff? And it was like chop wood, carry water.
Dawn said I was sick most of December, so that would have raised it again to 6. Yeah, that's definitely possible.
I hope you feel better.
Julie said, I got a keto
Julie.
mojo and I love it. After transitioning to keto, it has taken me 5 days to get to light keto reading of 0.7. I'm so excited. Okay, 0.7 is not a light reading. I'm not trying to burst your bubble, Julie, but I think one of the biggest problems that you see in keto and in the whole community is this chasing of numbers. As Rachel just talked about, chop wood, carry water, just eat keto. Eat a heavy meat-based diet, limit your carbohydrates, and don't worry about your readings. Okay? If you are truly eliminating all the pasta, grain, sugar, all of that stuff.
Your body doesn't have a choice.
That's what your body is going to be fueled with. Now, if you're sneaking in a bunch of carbs, okay, that's different. But what happens with those meters is somebody's come up with this magic number of 0.5 means you're in ketosis. But it doesn't. Because all that number is telling you is how many excess ketones are in your blood. And the longer you are keto, that number comes down.
Really
it's
down.
It's great at the beginning. The urine strips are great at the beginning because you're like, okay,
stuff's happening.
I've got ketones because like it's taken 3 days, but now they're showing up. The ketones can only show up when you're not eating carbohydrates. But the more fat adapted you get, the more your body gets into like, I know how to utilize this, and you don't have a lot of excess ketones in your blood unless you are eating undereating rather. So you're eating extremely low calorie and you're undereating. Or if you're doing a few other things like eating extremely high fat and taking things like exogenous ketones.
You're going to see that
Higher
number.
ketones does not equate to more weight loss. Okay?
Right.
It doesn't mean any more weight loss. But if you're not eating carbs, that's all that matters. You don't need to measure, and please don't chase numbers. And again, we talk about this with alcohol all the time. I can show you that if you consume alcohol, you are no longer in ketosis. You are no longer in ketogenesis, which is where your body is making ketones. Ketosis is just your body using ketones for fuel. So when someone says that 0.5 says I'm in ketosis, it doesn't, because you still don't know, is your body using the ketones? And so if you consume alcohol, your body won't use ketones for fuel, but you're still going to have them showing up in your blood because they're excess ketones.
Right.
So you can drink and you're going to say, oh, but look, the meter didn't go down. But you're not using those ketones and you're not creating new ones. So don't chase the numbers. The people who need to chase numbers are people who are doing this for like epilepsy or brain health, and they need to have extremely high ketones,
like therapeutic
up
level,
2, 3, or higher. But so long as if it's showing up as a 0.1 or 0.2, it means your body's creating ketones.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't freak out if the numbers go down.
Because some people can get very discouraged. It's kind of like, you're trusting the process. And if you're like, I see a very low meter reading and I haven't lost a bunch of weight yet, and like I'm very frustrated, like this is very slow going, I like to hold on to the fact that I'm just gonna keep doing the right thing, trust the process, and it's healing from the inside out.
We don't check our ketones unless we're doing some kind of like testing or a challenge or something like that. And you can even look at, so Robert Sykes, Keto Savage, the owner of Keto Brick, he just got declared the leanest man alive.
Yay! Congratulations,
okay, so he did
Robert.
all his competitions, and if you subscribe to his 7-Set Sunday and you watch his videos on the progress of him going through all of these different competitions and him getting down, if you go and look at what his average ketones were, and he was dropping fat like crazy.
Yes.
He was getting like ridiculously thin. Again, I think he ended up like sub 3% body fat or right around 3% body fat.
What in the world?
His ketones were like 0.5, 0.7. So again, and he's eating a very strict ketogenic diet. Pretty much he eats meat and keto bricks.
And that's it.
So, like, again, if his numbers aren't up there, why do we all look at, like, our numbers have to be way up?
Because I need some sort of target to put on my behind so I can kick myself down the street.
That's
if
true.
I am not getting after myself for something, it's not Christmas, right? Like, we're supposed to be beating ourselves up and kicking ourselves down the street.
Joe said, I think Nisha has a planner coming out. It might be now tomorrow, but I'm not 100% positive.
How
That's
nice.
Cool. I read that one. Joanna said, question. Oh, I read that one already, too. I don't know why I didn't delete them. Bags of love. Because of you guys, I decided to try Keto Try. I love this so much today. I signed up for the 30-meal surprise kit.
How
That's
nice.
cool.
What's your favorite flavor so far?
Let's see. Dawn said, I'm just happy that I've not gained any back of the 20 pounds.
Way to go,
that I
Dawn.
lost. That's
I'm
awesome.
so proud of you guys. And if you are ho-ho-hoing, just keeping it keto-wing during this holiday season, can I just say, you're doing amazing. This is amazing to do. Like, there is so much stuff. I can't even tell you the overflow of candy and nonsense given out for free, even at the post office. I was dropping off some packages for Caleb this afternoon to try to save my child from having to be in that postal line. And I was like, my gracious, there's like junk everywhere. So I'm really proud of you guys for saying no to all of the holiday treats that you may be seeing at work, like you may be seeing like in, different places where you serve during the holiday season. Like, I know it's hard. Santa and Mrs. Claus is super proud of you.
Jamie said, just quit your job. No kids, move to Ecuador.
There you go.
Okay, Project Frankie said, I do a Mediterranean keto plan.
Nice.
It's mostly seafood, eggs, avocados, olives, nuts, chicken. No extra fruit or veggies, still under 20 carbs a day.
Way to go.
That's awesome. I don't know what's the difference then. The people that I've seen doing it are incorporating a lot more fruits and vegetables.
Because that's completely keto.
Yeah, listen, and that's the big thing. I love
Olives
Dr. Berry's
and-
term, proper human diet.
Yeah.
I wish I would have trademarked that instead of him. Right? So, because why do we have to have all these different versions? You're keto,
Yeah.
or you're not.
Right.
What is keto? Keto is where you put your body in a state of ketosis. What is carnivore? Carnivore is keto.
Yeah.
What is the Lion diet? It's keto. But for some reason, it's like the high school or middle school. Middle school, worst time of our lives.
Middle
right?
school was the
It's
hardest
like the middle
time.
school lunchroom. We've got all of these different sects. Why can't we just all be one
Sit at
team?
the table.
And that's why I
wanna
love.
sit at everyone's table.
That's why I love Dr. Berry's term, proper human diet. If you were eating keto or ketovore or carnivore or the Lion diet or whatever, if you're eating whole foods,
yes,
you're keeping your total carbs under 100. You're not eating all the grains and stuff like that. You're not eating all the sugar.
you're doing great.
Then you're eating the proper human diet.
Yeah.
Now, how many carbs you need? It depends on you. Michelle, our daughter-in-law, she could eat 100 total carbs a day and still be in ketosis.
Yeah.
Us, not so much.
Carnivore werewolf.
Thank you very much for the $50 super chat.
Wow.
Said
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Christmas. And thank you so much. Now we know who sent us the shirt.
Yes.
So the one that was like, Santa doesn't want like, milk and cookies. He wants like meat is over on Carnivore Werewolf's website. That's a new shirt that he has in his Amazon store. Go check it out because it is super fun. And I've gotten a lot of comments about people going like, wow, that Santa is buff on your shirt.
Okay.
Look at Julie. My carbs are less than 15. Wow. Way to go.
Made you laugh a lot. My cardiologist put me on a Mediterranean. My triglycerides went up. Even my primary said, yeah, do the keto.
Do the keto.
Because one of the things that causes triglycerides to go up is the oils.
There was like, just how like there's a South Beach diet. There was like a Mediterranean diet, that paleo, like everybody wants to coin a phrase, sell a book. Like, because you have to have a new set of something in order for it to be like, it's just keto, right? Like, that's not exciting.
Right.
People are looking, what's next? So I always think of it in terms of like, I go through seasons of flavor. I'll never forget, after the low carb cruise, I could not get enough of the flavors of like Indian spices because we had gotten some different curries when we were cruising that first time. And then it was like, God bless this man. Everything we were making was like butter chicken.
Right.
Because I just love those flavors. So yeah, I love Mediterranean flavors, man. Olives and feta cheese and like, I mean, you're speaking my love language right now. I love all those flavors.
Joanna said, I hated middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Me too.
They were tough. They were really tough.
Meat flan?
Meat fan. A meaty fan.
Question.
Yes.
What are some alternatives to sour cream, heavy cream cheese, cottage cheese that you would recommend? I think the real stuff is causing me issues.
Joe's yogurt.
Well, if you're trying to avoid dairy, that would be a no-no.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yogurt many times is different than those things because it's got the live cultures in it and it's got the bacteria. So if you don't necessarily want to leave dairy, I would try yogurt. Not so much for heavy cream, but if you make our yogurt, it will replace sour cream, and you can replace cream cheese with it because you could just let it keep draining, and it becomes that consistency of cream cheese. Cottage cheese, there's really no alternative. If you don't want to, if you want to just eliminate the dairy, now I don't consider butter dairy, but if you want to eliminate things like sour cream and heavy cream and those kind of dairy, then Kite Hill does make a cream cheese.
Yeah.
It's kind of expensive, but it is pretty good.
They sell it at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I know
They
I've seen
used
it
to
there.
sell it at Publix. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah. But it's like an almond based.
Yeah. Oh, it's almond or coconut.
No, I think it's
Maybe
almond.
it is almond.
It was good.
Joanna said, I was wondering if it would help with a stall. Yeah, I don't think it will. I'll stick to keto.
It's
Listen, changing up your diet can...
Changing up the flavors.
But no, changing your diet overall can help with the stall, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's always the best thing. Many people are in a stall either because they're having stress issues or sleep
especially
issues.
this time of year.
And then the other thing that a lot of people hit a stall is because they've been under eating and they can't go any lower. And at that point, the only way out of it is the scary way. And that is, you got to eat more.
Increase your calories until you can get to a threshold and then lower them back down.
And
That's
then
the hard
also
part.
looking at, is there stuff creeping into your diet that you're not really thinking about? Like, are you consuming more heavy whipping cream than you think you are?
Sauces.
Are you adding a lot of spices? Are you using a lot of condiments? The things that, like, again, I love spice. But, like, you look at chili powder. When you look at the label, 0 carbs. But most of us use a couple of tablespoons in chili. So there's carbs there, but we're not counting it because the label says 0. It's like Caleb last night and said, well, whipped cream doesn't have any carbs, right? No. Heavy whipping cream has 0.413 carbs per tablespoon. So if you're using a lot of whipped cream and then you're eating you're eating carbs. And then if you're eating carbs in a lot of other areas, you might be eating 30, 40 carbs. Now, if the only carbs you're having is whipped cream, may not be such a big deal, so long as you can include dairy. Like, Rachel eats meat and whipped cream.
That's terrible sounding, but yeah.
But those are really the only carbs that you're consuming other than the carb that's in your coffee.
Right. So, but I will say that in the past, something that was easy to creep in for me were sauces, because I love sauces, right? I could make meat, and it could be like ground beef, and then if I added a bunch of tomato sauce, or I added some other type of complete, keto friendly sauce, but I will over sauce if given,
me too.
Same thing with things that are added to flavor,
like wings, and then dip them in blue cheese.
Exactly.
A lot of blue cheese.
Right. So it's if chicken wings in itself is fine, but then I will sauce the chicken wings and then dump blue cheese on it and then eat blue cheese on top of it, right?
Well, a perfect example is Texas Roadhouse. Whenever we go to Texas Roadhouse, we get the same exact thing.
Painfully boring.
We get a 16-ounce prime rib. We get the horseradish sauce. And then we get a side salad, and then we get broccoli that's got cheese, bacon, sour cream, and butter on it. That sounds like a very keto meal, right? Without the salad, if you go onto their website and add everything up, it's almost 20 carbs.
Which is that meal.
Because there's seasoning and carbs in the seasoning for the prime rib.
Right.
And then you've got the horseradish, and then you've got the cheese, and before you know it, we've eaten one meal and we've eaten 20 carbs of what most people would say is an extremely keto meal.
I don't want people to freak out.
Right.
Don't
Just
freak
do the
out.
right thing.
Don't freak out. Just stay
But those
reasonable.
are things to look at if you're having a stall. I think changing up your diet, even within keto, can help. That's the benefit of beef, butter, bacon, and egg. Let's eliminate a whole bunch of things and see what's going on.
That's right.
Get it down to the nitty gritty. Take out any keto treats. Keto chow, as much as we love it. Take out the dairy and see if that breaks things up. Maybe go an entire week of eating only eggs.
Yeah. See how you feel.
Sabrina's here.
Hey, Sabrina.
Said I've not been feeling well this afternoon and
Aw.
evening. Hopefully it isn't anything that will keep me down. I have too much to do before a family Christmas on Sunday. Merry Christmas.
That is, I know probably a lot of it, we get run down because we're just so busy and there's so many things that we're trying to do. You've got so many events, and if you've got the kids that you're trying to shop for, and maybe you're going to a lot more activities outside of the house, if you have an opportunity to go to bed early or to rest, rest. Like
Yes.
that, do what you can to get a little bit of extra rest in, because it can wear us out.
Yep.
It really can.
Becca said, Dr. Eid says, treat the patient, not the numbers. It's 100%.
I love that.
Yeah, Jamie's breathing out ethanol shows if you are burning ketones. And that is really, if you want to test at home, the only true way to know, are you actively in ketosis and burning ketones and burning fat for fuel, would be a breath meter. Before you run out and buy a breath meter,
so hard to use.
let me say this. We've got an old video about it.
Yeah.
You have to buy a good one, okay? You can't buy the $40 and $50 ones that you see on Amazon, which are glorified breath meters that people use to see, like, am I sober enough to drive?
Do I need Banaka?
Like, to me, like, if I had more than one drink, and even one drink most of the time, I'm not sober enough to drive. Like, I don't need to go drinking and have a thing and go, oh, no, look, I'm below the legal limit. No. So you can't buy the cheap ones. You have to buy the good ones. They're a minimum of $150 to $200, and they're not easy to use.
No.
So you will see a lot of people go, well, breath meters aren't accurate. They are.
You need
if you do it properly,
Yeah.
but the user error rate is very high because
somebody that was in choir maybe
yeah.
would know how to get that last drop of air out of your diaphragm.
The thing is that the ketones, they're in the bottom of your lungs.
Yeah.
That's where so you have to exhale everything out of your lungs, and then the very last breath, that's what's got to go into the meter.
It's like when we share a treat, my half is on the bottom underneath Joe's half.
Yeah, always.
So I have to eat through it to get to mine.
Yeah. Let's see. Lady Fritzer said,
Hey,
Dr.
Lee.
Sean Baker says he is not in ketosis most of the time by a meter reading, but that has to eat a lot more fat over his already 100% carnivore. Yeah, just don't chase a number. I don't want people getting upset when they see this low number and go, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong unless you're eating carbs.
Clearly, Dr. Baker is not doing anything wrong. I actually saw, did you see his Instagram post? He started doing his running backward.
I know.
Like distance running was not enough. He was running backwards.
Tracy said, I've not felt good.
I would kill myself running
backwards. The
backwards.
last couple of days, I've lost my appetite. Why can't we lose our appetite when we do feel good?
Right.
I agree.
I think that's completely true. You are so right. It's like, I don't feel good and I might as well not eat. But it's like, yeah, when you're happy, a lot of times you have a voracious appetite, right?
At least she makes me feel better to go, I'm not the only one. That at times in my life, I've been like, can't I just be really ill for like 2 months? Right. Well,
but
that
like
never went through your mind?
No.
Really?
No.
You're the only one I know.
That I want to be ill in order to
when
not
you were really heavy,
I mean,
and then you would get sick and lose 5 or 10 pounds, you wouldn't somewhere go like,
wow,
I wish I could stay sick longer just to lose the weight.
I just saw it like it was the silver lining of being sick.
No.
That was pretty much what I saw it at. This
This
guy, Santa.
I'm not. I know I can't be the only one that said that. That's felt that. Dawn said, I've been doing better since I'm on the antibiotics. Strep was kicking me in the buttski.
I'm so sorry. And you know, antibiotics bring inflammation also, because like they just do. So be easy on yourself. This is just a tough time. And right now, the number one priority, and that's something that we have to remember too. What is the number one priority? Because a lot of times we want to say like we have priorities, but something is at the top. Like even if I'm at work and I'm like, hey, my priority is my partner in life, my kids, and my job. Well, one of them at that moment is getting the lion's share of your attention, right? Like if you're at work, who's getting your attention or who should be getting your attention? The priority is at work, right? So what is your priority right now? Right now, it seems like getting well is the number one priority, and then we'll get into the numbers after like you've completely recovered.
So Amanda said, thank you for clarifying chasing numbers isn't worth it. Getting caught up in that ended up costing me half my hair.
Amanda.
Because what happened, if you want high ketones, just barely eat.
Right.
Because ketogenesis, the process of our body creating ketones. Okay, try to get the word ketosis out, because ketosis is just using ketones for fuel. Well, you can go eat Oreo cookies and then drink a bunch of Prove It and be technically in ketosis.
Right. It'll come up on
You're
a
not going to
meter.
lose any weight because
They're
you're
not.
in ketosis because your body is using ketones, but they're not your body's ketones.
Right.
Ketogenesis is where your body is making it. And don't confuse that with ketoacidosis. Ketogenesis, your body's making ketones from the fat. So if what happens is when you don't eat carbs or just don't eat enough food in general, your body taps into fat stores, and then it creates ketones. If you eat, I shouldn't say this, if you only ate 300 calories a day of Oreo cookies, there will be times in the day where you're in ketosis, probably most of the day, or
starving yourself.
ketogenesis. Why? Because you're not eating enough food. Now, is that very healthy? No. But if anybody ever watched Dr. Pol or Pool, what it was, Pol?
The veterinarian?
The veterinarian, Pol,
yeah,
right?
Dr. Pol.
Right? Go watch that, and one of the first things they do when they're checking out a cow is it's in ketosis. Why do they want to know if it's in ketosis? Because it means it's not eating.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be eating
It's
carbs.
not eating. If it's not eating, it's in ketosis.
Yeah.
And so just understand that when you have a lot of ketones, it's either A, you're taking exogenous ones, B, you're eating so much fat that your body's just turning it into and you have excess, or C, you are not eating enough food.
It's hard though, because I always want to be an A+ student. I want like A's on my report card. And if you're getting started on keto, a lot of times that's where you're getting directed to, right? Like be an A+ keto numbers maker person.
Right.
And so sometimes, especially if you're like, I want to do this right, and your desire to do this to the best of your ability starts to weigh on your mind, because you're like, okay, I've got to have eyes on all the things.
Right.
And I hope that maybe we can let people kind of relax a little bit when it comes to that. You're eating mostly meat. You're eating good animal fats. That's A+. That's A+ right there. So don't worry about like all of the other things that you have to do perfectly in order to get like the A+ paper. You're here. You're not eating a bunch of sugar for Christmas. You get A+ right now.
Right.
A+.
Oh, I don't know why it just changed. Cynthia said, "Good evening, everybody."
Hey, good evening, Cynthia. Oh, I got your card. I don't know if you saw that earlier because you're coming in. Thank you. Thank you for my card.
Julie said 3 months on Carnivore. I lost 7 pounds, but have been stalled for a month with weight loss. But there might be other things going on.
Yeah, especially during the holidays now. Like, especially if it's the holiday season, like I know how hard it is to stay off the scale. I know it. Like, if you saw our recent video, you know I know it. But there's so much more stuff going on, and you're probably adding a lot of extra things and stressors to these couple of weeks in December, and you may just want to kind of like back away from the scale right now and not measure your success based on scale numbers, at least right now.
Yep.
And I know it's hard, but there's a lot going on.
SD Bradley, thank you very much for the $20
Thank
super
you.
chat. Said Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
This is the one that I had accidentally taken off. Ola said, the current number I chase is my resting heart rate.
Nice.
In the low 60s is truly a miracle.
That's awesome.
B-Dog, question, what is your favorite way to make peppermint keto chow?
Ooh, yum.
So, as far as just making keto chow overall, our favorite way to make all keto chow is butter. We use like 4 tablespoons of melted butter.
We
don't use heavy whipping cream unless we're tasting a new flavor.
Right.
Or we're trying to do something creative. I think melted butter gives the best flavor. Because it enhances the flavor. Now, our favorite way overall with keto chow is ice cream.
Ice cream. But
And
I'll
then we
tell
do it
you,
with butter.
during this season, the peppermint keto chow has been, we've been making it as a coffee creamer.
Yes.
And playing that on repeat. Because it's just like the perfect flavor for the season.
Well, Rachel's Soul Sorts of Coffee Creamer is now keto chow.
Yes, because
they stopped with the super creamer.
I used to like super creamer and now buy super creamer. So
you used to go back and forth. Now it's only keto chow.
But wasn't that so precious that I was like, okay, I had made the decision too that I was like, you know what? There's no sense. We buy we get the big bags of keto chow. So like, why don't we just totally shift over? And I stopped buying that expensive coffee creamer because it doesn't last as long because the keto chow is thicker. It really is thicker. I don't even need to add as much keto chow as I was using of the super creamer.
No.
But now it's like, well, it's gone. I can't even buy it if I want because it's just gone. So I'm glad that we're using that creamer now.
Quiet Storm said, I find a tape measure to be the most useful quantitative feedback measurement. No scale for me.
I love it. And your clothes.
Yep. So Julie said, I just wanted to be in ketosis for sure.
Nice.
Makes me feel like I'm heading in the right direction. Good.
You are.
I'm eating right and no weight loss for over a month. Again, there could be lots of other things going on. Listen, it took us years to put the weight on. Figure whatever it took to put it on, it's going to take at least, if not longer, to get it
That
off.
would be a true experiment. A true experiment would be you'd have to test both ways of doing things for an equal amount of time to conclude conclusively what's the end of the experiment. So I'm like, I gave it 40 plus years of eating the standard American diet, so I got to give it 40 plus years of eating keto. But I will say that we were experiencing a lot of health on the inside of us, like our especially brain function for me. I didn't even realize that it was possible that keto could speak into these things. So it was like you got mobility back before you realized all of the weight loss that you were hoping for. But like, what is more important? The size on the scale or in your pants or mobility, being able to walk.
Right.
I think that is the most important thing. And for me, I was chasing a weight, but then realized that what was going on inside of my organs and my health, that really was the true blessing of keto. And I want to just eat this way because I know that this is an anti-inflammatory diet that's nourishing my body with truly bioavailable vitamins, nutrients, minerals, the things that my body needs to function properly.
Neely says, Dr. Westman says, he tells his patients to tell their doctors that they're doing the Mediterranean diet instead of keto.
There you go.
Because doctors love the idea of Mediterranean.
There you go. So,
yeah. But he's kind of making fun
it.
of doctors. For some reason, yeah, doctors love Mediterranean diet.
I just love his videos.
People ask us, like, what do you eat? We eat a primarily meat diet. That's what people usually, I'll tell people. I eat 95% meat. Rarely that gets enough shock that nobody asks me what the other 5% is.
Right. I guess they're assuming that it's probably like, I don't know, something crazy.
I tend to not use the word keto. We probably use it more than I would like to because usually the question also comes, what do you do for a living?
Right.
We have a YouTube channel.
Can I just describe to you
what is your YouTube channel?
My
and
diet
then
is?
It comes out. I was on the Voron Discord last night, and my username on Discord is 2krazyketos because I'm too lazy to have a separate Discord name. And somebody came out and said, does 2krazyketos have anything to do with the keto diet? And I'm like, yes, But I find it also becomes, for the name of our channel, it becomes a talking point and we get more people interested. So it's like a double-edged sword.
It has been a wonderful thing during this holiday season as I've been shopping because a lot of stores will be like, hey, there's a coupon if you're willing to give us your, email address. And I'm like, absolutely, I would love to give you my email address. It's joe@2krazyketos.com. And they're like, 2krazyketos, so you're into keto. So it gives me a talking point. And also I can direct all of that spam email over to Joe's email. So it's a twofer, a win and a win.
Accountable keto. Question, what is the best way to get back on track if I cheat on Christmas? Get back on track. Just the next day.
Your name is perfect for this. Accountable keto. So
literally just the next day.
Boom.
Okay, here's
the next meal.
Okay, so if you're let's say you're having Christmas dinner at your house, okay, and this is for anybody. You're having Christmas dinner at your house, and
what am I wearing?
You've got things that are not keto for whatever reason, whether you wanted them for yourself or you wanted them
Someone
for family
brought
members.
them.
Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. If Christmas dinner, New Year's dinner, any meal that you're having, you're entertaining, if there's anything at your house that's not keto, on the way out, as people are leaving, hand it to them. If they don't take it, throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't usually donate food that's cooked like that anyway. Don't leave it in your house. That's number one. If you go to somebody else's house, like we're going to Rachel's mom's house, now she won't have anything, but I'm using it as an example. Don't bring leftovers home that aren't keto. Then what do you do if you went off plan on Christmas? The very next meal, you're back on keto. Don't fast. Don't punish yourself. Like that's, somebody will go like, well, I had a bad day today, ate a bunch of sugar, so I'm going to fast. That's binging and purging. That's bulimia.
You know what I like to think of after like a meal is, because it was hard for me, not even just like what do you eat that would be like off keto, but my hardest part is eating more than I want, like putting myself on cleanup crew. So maybe you're eating perfectly keto. Maybe the keto issue is not even an issue, but you're like, man, I feel like I need to like clean up all this food with my mouth.
Right.
Like, what do I do with all these leftovers? Eat them, I assume. I like to picture myself as a waiter at a restaurant. Now, after the meal is over and you're coming back to the table, I don't think there's any waiter that's like, you know what? All these leftovers, I'm going to eat them. I'm going to clean them up. What do? If there's still stuff on the plate? They go to the trash and they scrape it into the trash and put the dish in the dishwasher, right? Like it's over. This meal has concluded. It is over. And anything that's left over that I'm like, I don't want to bring home and have a problem with temptation-wise needs to go in the trash. The meal is over, right? Like, and if you have like a ton of leftover desserts because maybe I made them and didn't budget correctly. Like I thought that I will make a batch of cookies and my batch of cookies became 4 dozen cookies that we didn't need to make that many, but we did. It's over. The meal is over and we can throw things in the trash that we don't want to be triggered by later.
Yep. Julie wants to know how to make keto cheddar cream. We just put a video out about it about 2 weeks ago. It was actually if you look at the peppermint keto chow one, I think that's the one. Or it's how we make our coffee, if I remember right. A couple more before we get off. Bags of love. I thought I'd share since it's somewhat keto carnivore related. Right now, during your live, I have baby quails hatching out and watch them hatch while you're live. That's awesome.
Gosh, I wish I was looking at that right now.
Jenna said, I'm very happy, down another 20 pounds for a total of 70 since June. This wonderful family has helped so much, not even wanting holiday treats at all. That being said, I'm making keto chow bruche de Noël for, I'm assuming, Christmas.
Nice.
Last one. Becca, what do you recommend I eat for long COVID? Most foods, especially fatty food, makes me nauseous. Oof. Again, we're not doctors. I would try to get as much down.
I would say slow.
I would say, especially because I know, Becky, you need to keep your ketones up. I try to eat just meat, try to keep it fatty, maybe eat throughout the day. But the biggest thing is keep your electrolytes up.
You're somebody that like grazing probably would not undermine.
Yeah.
Because I know that like you've had struggle like eating your weight up. Well, we are trying not to graze because that's what happens. We get our weight up. But for you, that wouldn't be an issue. That would actually be a blessing because I know you've talked about wanting to gain weight. So it may have to be little micro mini meals throughout the day. You're eating the right food, but if you push yourself too hard, maybe that's what's making you nauseous.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to get off. So a couple little things.
We're going to be on Tuesday.
Monday, we're not going to have Keto Be on the Couch on Monday.
Yes.
Because we're going to hang out with family. We're going to do it on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time will be Keto Be on the Couch.
And let us know what are your plans for the week after Christmas? Because that's where a lot of people can get like derailed. So I'm glad that we're going to be on for Keto Be on the Couch on Tuesday, because we can talk about like what is our plans for that week and really take control of that week.
And for those of you who are going on the 2KK cruise,
yay, you can check in.
We're only a couple weeks away. Make sure you've checked in. Make sure you've got everything in order. And if you are not, go and join the group on Mighty Networks, members.2krazyketos.com.
Hi, Heather.
Because we're going to be putting some information in there, some reminders, where we're going to all meet on the first day at 2 o'clock. We've got a room for a couple hours. We've got some goodie bags. Let you guys kind of know where we're going to be. We're super excited. We're all going to be eating together. But I think the easiest way to kind of get that information out is just in the cruise group on Mighty Networks.
Right.
Also, I'm going to be announcing in there the cruise for the end of next year for 2 Krazy Ketos.
I'm so excited about that. I did see congratulations to Project Frankly, who retired from your job this week. How wonderful. Congratulations on that.
Okay, guys, have a Merry
Christmas.
Have a great weekend.
We
Bye.
love you.